Well, I learned the hard way that energy protection is something that you need to do every day. It has to be a conscious decision. So if you're feeling fragmented or scattered or anxious, this might be a good video for you to watch. So rather than energy sovereignty or talking about letting go of fear, which is both related, I kind of wanted to build on that original subject and talk about energy protection, because that's something that you also need to consciously do in order to essentially be, again, sovereign. So it's kind of like the same theme, but energetic protection can be like a force field that you put around you. And it also includes grounding, which we can talk about in another video. I know that not everybody is good with like meditation or visualization. So what can be helpful is if you start working with your higher self, because they can help guide you through all this too. Starting to work closely with my higher self actually really sort of kick-started another phase of my awakening process. So like I just did a meditation off of YouTube. I actually did several, but I found one that really worked for me. And right like that night, I started having instant sort of like astral travel and lucid dreaming events that it just kick-started everything. So your higher self, when you start working with them, it'll, sorry, my dog's kind of growling in the background. It'll, so what I did is I asked my higher self, like, look, I want to work with you. I want to work closely with you. And essentially I want to follow along with my soul contract. So it's not like my higher self is like driving my entire life or anything, but what started happening is I'd have like daily dreams, messages, visions, mostly in my sleep, that would give me the information or downloads or whatever you want to call it to sort of integrate and be able to move forward on my path. And essentially by doing so, this dramatically raised my vibration or frequency and, you know, made me even more protected, I guess you'd call it, because when you're working with your spirit team, you're in alignment with spirit and divinity, and you're protected that way. So this is a process though where you have to ask for it. You have to consciously drive that process, because it's all based on free will. You can't really passively sort of continuously evolve and stay on your path. You have to do it with awareness. So you have to ask to work with your higher self if you haven't done that already. And so just like declaring that you're no longer going to be a victim of fear or any other kind of personal, spiritual, or energetic decision, you have to declare that you want to work with your higher self. And this is a very powerful form of protection. So this is just what I've done. I'm not trying to like speak to anybody like I'm any kind of guru or anything like that. I'm just speaking out of my own experience, and hopefully it helps or resonates with someone. So it's been very powerful for me in terms of coming into my power, into my sovereignty, and through working with my higher self, I've started like very deep learning and healing. I always try to write everything down, but I don't always get to. And a big key for me too, like in deciphering a lot of the messages and visions and everything that come through is, a lot of people say bad stuff about AI, but I use it a lot actually to delve into the deeper meanings and symbols into my dreams and put it all together. And if some of the interpretations like maybe don't resonate, I dig into it a little bit deeper, and I say, you know what, that doesn't quite make sense. Let's explore that a little bit more, and I usually end up figuring it all out, and then I can integrate that into my awareness and move forward and grow. So anyways, back to protection. So lots of people use a bubble, an energetic bubble, and it can be like a clear bubble or a white bubble. It can be rose-colored. All those sorts of things sort of create like an energetic boundary. So you want to imagine the bubble being sort of on the outer reaches of what your astral body or energetic body would be. So the more you raise your vibration, sort of the bigger expanse your energy field covers. So I just try to visualize it in my mind, but if you can't, then just ask for your higher self to put that bubble around you to make sure that you have that energetic boundary. And another thing that I've always done is say that no energies that aren't in alignment with my highest good, no energies that are lower vibrational or anything like that are allowed to interfere, connect, or mingle with my bubble or my energy at all in any shape, way, or form in my astral body, my physical body, my mind, my spirit. So I make those boundaries very, very clear in my declarations. And this is something that I feel has been really helpful. Sometimes when there's more intense situations where you need a little bit of extra protection, I have personally found it helpful to work with archetypes. So first and foremost is always your higher self, but then you can also surround yourself with your spirit team, and some of them can be archetypes. For me, like, I have my divine parents, and one of the first archetypes that I ever actually worked with was Archangel Michael. I don't know a ton about archangels, I just know a little bit, and for me, my experience with Michael has been very, very powerful. So if I'm ever in a situation where I'm a little bit afraid or the situation's really intense, I have used Archangel Michael's help, and he's good for intervening and protection. I sort of intuitively figured out who would be good for me to work with. It came to me like through symbols and essentially just intuition, and then like if a name sort of came across in my feeds or in my mind, somehow I'd sometimes look it up. And I don't do this very often or anything like that, but I have a pretty, what's the word, I guess, like a tight team. Like there's certain archetypes that I work with, and I don't really branch out from there because I feel like it's all pretty balanced. But in situations where things have gotten more intense, I have a couple of archetypes that I work with that help me with enforcement. Like, so if my boundaries, energetic boundaries or boundaries otherwise, are not being respected, I call in those archetypes for enforcement to make sure that the laws of the universe essentially are being followed, and that there's consequences for energies or people that aren't following my boundaries. One important note that I'd also like to make is, yes, it's important to set clear boundaries every day and protect yourself energetically, like in waking life and in sleep. But another thing that I realize is you actually have to protect yourself online too. I learned that the hard way, and I won't get into great detail today or anything. But if you're engaging online, especially with strangers or people that you don't know if you can trust them, it's a really good idea to make sure that you're protected thoroughly before you reach out online as well. I'd love to hear in the comments how you receive guidance or how you do your protection. Or maybe you are about to ask for your higher self to help you with your protection. Let me know where you're at. Don't forget to follow my page if you're wanting more reminders or wisdom. And if it calls to you, feel free to check out the Harmonic Mind store, where I've designed all of the items to be rich in symbolism and meaning, and I guess sort of an aesthetic that I feel has resonates with me and kind of coincides